Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I am on my way to town, and I'm just getting some very disturbing message here. There is a group of lobbying for freedom of media that are actually raising the alarm that probably tomorrow, after a bit of that confrontation for the last three circles of Azimio's mass action, the government could be planning to shut the media in a move that is seen as trying to create that blackout. I have also seen the stakeholders saying that if government takes that effect, makes that decision, then they will also have no option but to black out black out government from the media, maybe their coverage. Now, I don't know what's the wisdom behind it, because even though we have to know it's not something new, I saw, I think in 2018, we had such a situation where TV stations were shut, especially by the time CS Matiang'i was in charge of Interior. And it didn't go down well. It didn't go down well. We really have to make that very clear. So what's really worrying here is the fact that we know we need a solution, and everyone else is understanding that the mass action is taking toll of the lives of innocent Kenyans, probably also businesses. But then the responsibility of the state is to make sure that the solution is found. Now, I am just wondering, if you really want Kenyans to go to work, but you are still saying you want to put them in blackout, that's a big blunder. I want to tell you why. If you put blackout, probably no one is going to leave. No one is going to leave their houses to go home. No one is going to leave their houses to go to work, because people want to know. The information space has been a very good, is very important for people even to gain confidence. I can tell you from tomorrow in the evening, tomorrow in the morning, Monday, what we really want to, what the journalists are looking for is, where is Raila Odinga? I can tell you that if people shall have not known where is Raila and what's going on, that kind of speculation, first in its nature, will create a situation of anxiety and uncertainty. And because of that uncertainty, we are not really going to see people going to work. So those who are making that plan, I don't know the wisdom behind it. But then it points out to something clearly, guys, that I don't think the state is interested in solving the problems, because the chest thumping has been going on. Raila Odinga team are saying, look here, what we've been doing in the last three cycles of mass action is nothing. It's just child's play. Tomorrow we're gonna have, like on Monday, we're gonna have a matter of demonstrations. The government at the other end has held a very strong stand that Raila is simply looking for a handshake, and the proxy, the discussion about the cost of living is a proxy, or rather is a smokescreen. And in their wish, what they're simply saying, or rather what they're doing here, is they want to make sure they contain Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, the reason why I'm saying that we need to be a bit sensitive is the fact that it's not about containing Raila Odinga. It's, Raila has masses. So if you're saying about controlling Raila, I think you're talking about controlling the masses. With the headline stance, there seems to be no one looking at the solution. There seems to be no one interested to find out, can we have alternative ways? Those who are talking about alternative means that Raila should use should also agree that there are alternative ways of solving the problem. Now, if we acknowledge that we run the risk of getting into some sort of anarchy, then unleashing such dubious strategies of maybe putting people in some sort of blackout, to me, does not serve the purpose, and it just shows that we're a bit insensitive, and it's not going to solve the problem. That's what we need to agree. But again, it's coming in the wake of attack against journalists. And when the journalists were attacked in Pipeline, we were actually worried, and we said, probably we looked at it that someone is interested to make sure that the live stream, they've been complaining about the live stream, that the mass action is not live streamed, and it's not really, it's a way to make sure that journalists are not there. So If in a previous week you hit journalists are hit, then the following week you shut the internet and you shut the media, you simply also confirm, rather vindicate the fears that has been going on. There is a question that we need to ask. Where is the constitutionality of this? Yeah, where's the freedom space? Because this is why we seem to see that I seem to see that when these things can happen and the courts cannot pronounce, rather the other institutions that are supposed to pronounce themselves on these matters cannot pronounce themselves on these matters. It's a worrying trend that should worry both me and you, especially in this country. We seem to be running a situation where people make those decisions and probably on emotions, oblivious of what the law says. And that's what should be important, what the law says. Have we run out of strategies, or are we not afraid? Are we just afraid of making sure that this is done? I'm criticizing this move because I think ending the mass action do not need physically blocking people. Do not need physically attacking the people. This thing is something that needs to be solved between two people, Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto, not any other person. Not Martha Karua, not Kalonzo Musyoka, not Rigathi Gachagua, not the Kimani Ichung'wah. It needs Raila and William Ruto. If William Ruto puts a call to Raila Odinga tonight and they have a discussion on what exactly, or rather the alternative that can be there, Raila Odinga has open communication channels. President William Ruto have alternative open communication channels. And I think Raila can put a call to the President Ruto and Ruto haitaki kushika. So we are really staring at a situation where watu wanapigana juu na watu wa chini ndio wataumia. Because at the end of the day, if people don't go to work, what are we saying? What are we saying? When we create the tension and play into that trap of creating the tension, what probably is going to happen? Number one, people won't go to work. Now, the moment we've stifled subsistence economy, when people don't go to work in Nairobi, 60% of people in the lower middle class are hand to mouth. I'm talking about watu wa mjengo. I'm talking about the piki guys who do not even have a very good saving, probably. So these are people that wasipoamka wasipoenda kazi hiyo siku, there is no money. That is the population I'm talking about. So what can happen here is we are going to starve the economy, and mwananchi pale chini, the hustler that we are supposed to fight for, is going to suffer the brunt. What are we saying? On this, the closest shop and the things will be around, we're going to open avenues for vandalism. Because if people are angry, what exactly are we saying? People are going to take different avenues. So probably this is not a journey we can take. This is not a path that, according to me, is going to work. We are creating unnecessary tension, and we seem to be evading just solving the problem. If the state wants to solve this problem, as much as you're saying you want to solve it once and for all, put a call to Raila Odinga. Have a discussion about what is really at the stake. All of us are also agreeing, and I think Raila Odinga team are saying that we want peaceful mass action. But this is the truth. That what Azimio are saying is probably what they want. But the reality on ground is that even after that peaceful demonstration, people are maimed. The police is holding their stand. We are losing lives and we're losing properties. Are you going to tell me that if you shut media and Raila fails to show up and people fail to go to work, do you think you're going to stop destruction of property? Because Raila has an option. Okay, fine. Because I don't want to create anxiety, I don't know what's in the stake for me. Maybe you want to create a situation of like what we had, a state of emergency. Raila fails to show up, and then what happens? We are going to get ourselves into the mess without really insensitivity of making sure that we get to the solution. So that's my position. We need to get this very right. If we want the solution, we must face it. The other dodging of barricading roads, deploying the security on the civilians, to me it's not going to solve the problem. We all need this country. We all need the solution. Let's mean well. The moment we stop talking, that's when we start fighting. Why can't we talk? What has failed? Why can't we talk? We've always talked in the past. In 2007 we talked. In 2017 we talked. And people got breakthrough. You know, I was just talking to my Uber guy, and the guy was telling me, guys, we need to work. And we need to work. If people can't work because we are creating unnecessary tension, really no. And lastly, we are creating room for propaganda. Tomorrow in the morning, when people are in darkness, people are going to do street propaganda. Someone will come out and say Raila is dead, someone is arrested, and through that we throw people in the streets. So if we need the solution, I think we need to be very sensitive. That's my take.